Many years ago, in the beautiful city of Asaba, there lived a beautiful lady named Adora, who is a banker and had worked so hard to get to the level where she was. While working one day at the bank, she met a very handsome man named Ekene. Ekene was very much interested in her and he made his interest known immediately. It didn't take long. Ekene and Adora started dating. They were very, very happy. They were just the perfect couple. They did everything together, had fun together. Adora was so happy. Ekene brought her nothing but comfort, love, support in all ways. And within a short period of time, they got married. And after marriage, it didn't take long for Adora to take in. And while they were celebrating their bundle of joy, Ekene fell terribly sick. And when he was taken to the hospital, it was confirmed that he had kidney failure. Ekene tried to be strong during this process, knowing fully well that they were expecting a baby. But the day Adora delivered her baby was the day she lost her husband. This brought her deep pain. She couldn't just imagine how nature was being unfair to her, how nature had taken the man who loved her deeply and the man she loved greatly. But one thing was that Adora gave birth to a very handsome boy. She saw her son Obiora as Ekene, her husband. She took care of Obiora with all her heart. She made out time for Obiora. Adora was always ready to leave work early so as to go be with her son. Adora tried her possible best to forget her husband Ekene, but that wasn't easy, as everywhere in the city reminded her of her husband. So with this, Adora decided to move to a different part of Asaba so she could just try to forget about Ekene, because the thought of Ekene made her cry every day. So with this, Adora and her son Obiora moved to a different part of Asaba, but she still maintained her work as a banker even in the new city she went to. Adora and her son Obiora lived very happy. Adora woke up very early in the morning, prepared her son Obiora for school, and took him straight to school before heading out for work. Yes, it was a bit stressful, but she was so comfortable doing it, knowing fully well that the only person she had was Obiora, and she was so glad to do it. But something that really bothered her was the fact that Obiora had to stay with his class teacher till she come pick him up after the close of work each day. Adora wasn't comfortable with it, knowing fully well that the teacher would soon start complaining. So one day, while Adora was dropping her son in school, her son quickly recognized their neighbor, who was also a teacher in the school, and quickly told his mom, "Mom, see Uncle Emeka. He's also our neighbor and he's also a teacher in a class I know." Adora was so grateful. She was so glad in her heart, though she didn't want to ask Emeka to help take care of her son, but she felt that if Emeka knew her situation, probably he would offer to. So Adora quickly introduced herself to Emeka. Emeka, who had noticed Adora right from the moment she packed into the compound, quickly told Adora that he knew about her and he also knew that her son attended the school. So they just exchanged pleasantries and left. But as the days went by, Adora kept on picking her child late. The class teacher, being Auntie Ada, was not complaining at all, knowing fully well that Adora was a banker and her job was very, very demanding. She was also grateful that Adora made sure she kept to the time that she always told her. But deep down, Adora knew that it was not convenient for Auntie Ada. She was looking for a way to make it convenient on both parts. So one day, while she was dropping Obiora in school, Uncle Emeka quickly ran up to her and told her, "Good day, ma. I've noticed that you don't come back early with your son. And I noticed that it's only when you're returning back from work that Obiora gets to come back. Since we stay in the same estate, I can carry him home. And when you close from work, you just pick him from my apartment." Adora was so grateful, though she was a bit scared, but she told herself nothing could happen now, they are both male. So she told Uncle Emeka, "Thank you very much. I am so grateful. I'm so glad for this offer. God bless you." Emeka smiled and told her, "It's nothing. That's the little I can do for you." After the closing of school for that day, Emeka quickly went to Obiora's class and told Obiora that his mom has permitted him to take him home. Obiora was a bit excited as he didn't have to stay only him in school. Emeka also told Obiora's class teacher, Auntie Ada, that Mrs. Adora had given permission that Obiora should always follow him home. Mrs. Ada was so grateful too, as she was also going to have time to do other things she had to do. That day, when they got home, Emeka helped Obiora with his assessments, taught him, coached him, and guided him. And when they were done, Emeka also gave him some books to read, and after a while, he put him to sleep. Obiora was so excited. Obiora was very, very comfortable around Uncle Emeka, as he always saw him as a nice man, someone that was always willing to listen to him and someone that was always willing to help him. Obiora was very, very happy. He always told his mother nice things about Uncle Emeka, how Uncle Emeka had made him even understand mathematics that he hated so much. Adora was so grateful. She was so glad that Emeka had come her way. She never ever expected that there could be someone as nice as this. But as the days went by, Emeka gradually started showing his true color. As the moment Obiora was done with his assessment, he was going to offer Obiora a cup of juice. And the moment Obiora goes to bed, he will gradually have his way with him. And when Obiora wakes up, he will notice that he's feeling pains in different parts of his body, but he won't know where the pain was coming from. And he was really, really confused as a child. And even when he told his mom, Adora, felt that probably Obiora had played too much in school, as even when she tried to check his body, there was no scars anywhere. But Obiora kept on complaining that his waist was paining him. His mom decided to tell him that, "Obiora, when you get to school tomorrow, make sure you don't play too much, don't play football, try to rest so that we can know what's wrong with you." To which Obiora accepted. And when he went to school the next day, while his friends were playing, Obiora sat down in the class because he was in pain. And he also remembered his mother had told him not to play so as to figure out what was causing his pain. Obiora sat down in the class reading his book while other kids were playing. After the close of school that day, Uncle Emeka came to carry him as usual and they went straight to his house. Uncle Emeka helped him with his assignments and also asked Obiora to eat something so that Obiora could rest. But Obiora told him that his mom had made extra lunch for him, so there was no need for him to make him something to eat. Obiora ate what his mother had given to him and sat down to watch the television. But while he was sitting down to watch the television, he noticed that Uncle Emeka brought a cup of juice and told him, "Since you don't want to eat, you can have juice." But Obiora told him, "Sir, I'm a bit full. Probably I can have it much later." But he noticed dissatisfaction in the face of Uncle Emeka, and he didn't want to make him feel bad, so he collected the cup of juice and drank. Few minutes after he drank it, he slept off as usual, and Emeka had his way with him again. That night, when Adora came to pick Obiora up, Obiora kept on complaining of intense pain, and his waist was seriously paining him. So Adora decided to call the office and told them that she wasn't going to be able to make it, as her son wasn't feeling fine and she needed to take her son to the clinic. The next day, Adora took her son Obiora to the clinic, and after the doctor was done examining him properly, the doctor told Adora that something fishy is happening, as he had noticed that someone is trying to molest her son, or her son is already having sexual intercourse at a young age. But Adora couldn't believe that. She told herself that can't be true. She told the doctor to run the test again and again, but they pointed out the fact that something was strange, and she quickly asked herself, who would have been doing this to my child? The only person I entrust my child to is Emeka. Obiora had never said anything negative about him, so what is going on here? So Adora took it upon herself to find out what was happening to her child. And she told herself she must figure it out one way or the other. To which the doctor gave them some medication and they left. That night, she quickly asked her son Obiora all the activities that goes on in Emeka's house, to which her son explained everything and also told her that most times Uncle Emeka gives him something to drink, and whenever he's done taking it, he notices that he sleeps till she comes back. And that was when Adora figured out that probably Emeka was purposely putting sleeping pills in her son's drink. And she told her son, whenever Uncle Emeka gives you the drink, smile at him, but try to spill it. Do not take any drink from Uncle Emeka again. To which Obiora said yes. So, with this, Adora planned in her heart that she was going to allow Emeka pick her son and observe them. She was going to take permission from work and close early, but she wasn't going to pick her son. She needed to catch Emeka red-handed if he was the one doing it to her son. Then she told Obiora, when Uncle Emeka takes you to his house, make sure you try not to lock his door, just in case he's the one harming you. Someone will be able to help him. To which Obiora said, okay, Mom, I'm going to open the door the moment we enter into the house. So, the next day, Obiora went to school. And when Uncle Emeka came to pick him, Uncle Emeka asked him how he was feeling now, to which Obiora said he was feeling fine, and the doctor just said it was some signs and symptoms of malaria. Deep down, Emeka was so excited. He was so glad that he had not been caught. He was so excited, and he quickly told Obiora that he was going to buy him ice cream that day. Obiora did not say anything, as he remembered his mother had warned him seriously not to take anything from Emeka. He just looked at him and smiled, not uttering a word. The moment they got home, as usual, he helped him with his assignment and offered him a drink. Obiora could not take it, remembering his mother had warned him strictly not to take the drink. So Obiora purposely kept the drink by the edge of the table. And when he was about getting up, the drink spilled on the floor. He quickly apologized to Uncle Emeka, and Uncle Emeka said, no problem. It's nothing. This is your first time you're making a mess in my home. I can quickly clean it. To which Obiora said, no problem. I will clean it myself. So the moment Emeka went into the kitchen to get him another drink, Obiora quickly went straight to the door and opened it, just in case Uncle Emeka was the reason he was falling sick. Someone was going to be able to help him, as his mother had told him. So, Emeka came out with another glass of drink for Obiora and told him to take it. But Obiora refused, stating that he was full. Emeka showed Obiora his own glass of drink and told him, there is no harm with us taking the drink together. We can both watch football match while we are taking it. Obiora told him that he couldn't take it, but Emeka kept on pushing it. So Obiora collected the drink from him, sipping it gradually while they watched the football match. Unknown to Obiora, Emeka was waiting for him to finish taking the drink so he could have his way with him. The moment Obiora was done taking the drink, Emeka took him straight to the bedroom so as to have his way with him as usual. One thing Emeka never knew was that Obiora had already left the door open, so Adora gradually sneaked into the house, not making any sound. The moment she got to his room, she opened the door, and to her greatest surprise, she saw Emeka on her son. She screamed, and all the neighbors gathered immediately. She never ever expected that Emeka could do this to her. She, a poor widow, she cried her eyes. She cried so bad. While the neighbors were still beating him, one of the neighbors quickly called the security people on him, and Emeka was carried straight to the prison. Emeka was tried in court, and after his trial, he was sent to prison for 10 good years. Adora was so grateful that she never ever allowed the words of her son fall on deaf ears. She was so grateful that she observed it on time. She was so glad that she came to the aid of her son quick and fast. And with this, Adora vowed never to leave her child at the care of anyone, not even Auntie Ada in school. Rather, she quit her job in the bank and opened a small kiosk closer to the house. So the moment Obiora was done from school, she goes to pick Obiora by herself. And with this, Obiora and Adora lived happily ever after. We've come to the end of the story. This story is just a short story trying to teach us the dangers and harms that can be in our environment. Sometimes, some people might appear friendly, but we don't know their thoughts. So we should be very, very careful around people. We should be very, very careful on who we give our children to. We should also be very, very careful to always pay listening ears to what the child says. Thank you very much for listening to the story of the day. We still remain your favorite storyteller, Sika. Please do not forget to support us by subscribing, liking, turning on the notification bell to get more interesting stories like this. Till we meet again in our next. Bye for now.